How's it going, guys? Hope y'all's Wednesday is going great for you. Today we kind of have some kind of changing it up a little bit. Like past, we've been talking about suspension. Today we're actually turning around and talking about some lighting. As you guys know, the weather's getting better here in Texas, and everything's kind of changing. And a lot of the cars are starting to come out of hiding, you know, from storage. Some of you guys that put your cars away from storage, and y'all kind of going to these car shows. These cars and coffees are starting to pop up everywhere. See all the posts and everything. So those are starting to pop up. Everyone's starting to get active. The night meets and stuff like that. So today I wanted to kind of show you guys something new that we just got in. We've been working on it for a very long time. We've been working with this manufacturer to get the everything dialed out and make everything simple for you guys. So what I have for you today is a new lighting manufacturer that we picked up that actually has been working with us to develop their kits. So that way they make it easy, plug and play, simple to connect, virtually very little, if anything, modification that has to be done to them to mount them, to get them connected and get everything working, to kind of give you guys an idea as far as what we've been doing. Well, our Shop 16 here has kind of been the development car, and what we've been working on, as you guys can see, are the wheel rings. Those have kind of been really the main concentration that this manufacturer wanted to concentrate on. Obviously we have the undercar, the underhood, and we also have the grill. Now those kits are also just about finished as well, but today I wanted to talk to you about the wheel rings and show you guys what those kits consist of, and actually everything that they took for the wheel rings, they applied it to everything else that they're going to do for the car. So I want to go ahead and show you guys what we have going on for that. The manufacturers, they're ZRO Road Optics. This is their wheel ring kit, and pretty much what comes in the kit is going to be four rings that already have the LEDs mounted to them. Okay. Now these LED rings, they're depending on what model Camaro you have, depends on how big of a ring you need. So if you need to cut it down a little bit, you can cut it down. Very simple, easy plug and play installation, as you guys can see here. And also what's cool about this is that this stuff is waterproof. So we're having a really good time putting this kit together, and as you guys can see, we already have it on the car. You guys might have seen little teasers and stuff that we've thrown out on the car in the past. Well, this is the kit. It's finally available. We've been asked, we've been getting questions. Everyone kind of wants this look. As you guys can see, it shines off those MRR brushed wheels a whole lot. So for you guys that have the chrome wheels, the brushed wheels, you're going to get that similar effect. Now, unfortunately, for guys that have black wheels, you might not get that much effect onto it, but it's still going to pop off those black wheels and it's going to shine real nice. So here's what we have for you. Like I said, this is the kit. It comes with everything you need. Simple, easy installation. Just a few mounting brackets. You cut this down to the size you need to fit your application, whether you have a V6, whether you have SS. Just cut it down, that's about it. Other than that, it comes with the wiring, the hardware, everything you're going to need out of it. So I'll kind of show you real quick. Simple, detailed instructions. Detailed instructions with it. And that come with it, printed, they're in color, so they kind of tell you exactly what you need to do, how to do it, stuff like that. Simple controller. The controller actually works out great, because it's not one of those controllers that I can't get 5 feet from the car. I can't get 10 feet from the car. No, I could go stand 20, 30 feet down back and operate the remote itself. So it's not one of those things that you have to be up close to it. So like I said, the kit's going to come with the four rings, and it's going to come with all the hardware. All the hardware here. There's your remote, your brackets, your caps, your fuses, everything you need to make the connection is going to come in the kit. There's some heat shrink, everything. So the good thing about this kit, and what we really like that they did and that we told them we wanted, is that they give you a 15-foot cable extension. They actually give you 2 of these. And this comes from, this is going to mount on the front, and this is going to connect to the back of the car. So this is going to go the entire length of the car. And like I said, simple, easy plug-and-play connection. You're going to plug it in, and you're going to just get going right down the road. So what you're going to do, you're going to take the connector here, and all it does, like I said, plug it in. Plug it in. It comes with some heat shrink that you're going to put on here to seal it together so you don't get any water or nothing in it. You connect that together, route this through the car, and make the connections in the back and the trunk. That's where we made the connections. Any power and ground can make the connections as well, but that's where we made the connections, and I'll show you guys in a little bit where we made those connections, so that way you can do the same thing. Okay, so like I said, it's going to come with the two 15-foot and two 10-foot, and they're both going to look essentially the same, tied up like this, and then they're all going to be plug and play. Like I said, the controller is going to come with. It's an RF controller, so you don't have to worry about mixing signals. Very simple controller. It allows you to get all pre-programmed with all the colors, some different show modes, and then you can also control it yourself and program some colors that you might want yourself as well. So you can dial in the color. If you have a special orange you want, you dial that in, you program it, you're done. Anytime you want to go to that orange, hit that button, it goes right to that orange. The control box for the remote, very simple control box. All you need is power and ground. Make the connections from the splitter, which actually the splitter is right here. The splitter's right here, and the good thing about the splitter is that it's weather packed as well. The only connections you're going to make are the 4 wires right there. Everything else is just going to plug right in. So you guys can see some of you guys that have the different setups, you want to kind of get everything to work together. These guys also thought about everything working together. So you want to do the wheel rings now, you want to get the underbody later, everything's going to tie in together to the one controller, so you don't have 3 different controllers, 4 different controllers operating the entire car. One controller, the entire car, you don't have to worry about it. So that's what's good about this. So we'll kind of show you a little bit of how the kit mounts and how it kind of operates from there. I'm going to go ahead and lift it so you can get you guys a little bit eye level. As you guys can see, I kind of have this car going through just kind of what's the show mode. It's the fade, and it just fades through the colors on its own. Everything just kind of is pre-programmed in it, so you don't have to worry about programming something yourself. Hit that button, and it's going to go through it. You control the speed, so if you wanted to go faster, slower, you can control that. Really, other than that, it's really kind of set in its way. But like I said, here's the mounting. Like I said, this was kind of the test kit that they did, but the brackets and everything are going to mount something similar to this. They give you the screws and everything you need to mount to the heat shield. The kit does require you to take your brakes, take them off, and then from there you can mount it using the brackets that come with it. They're very sturdy brackets, very, very thick, so you're not going to have to worry about anything breaking or anything like that. We've had this kit on this car for probably, I'm going to say about 8 months. Roughly about 8 months, so we really haven't had any issues out of it. We've taken it to shows, we've taken it on trips. Just the daily use, it withstands some heat, it's weatherproof, so you don't have to worry about it getting wet, it's not going to short or anything like that. As long as everything is sealed and you make a good connection, you use the heat shrink and everything to cover the connections, you're not going to have any problem. Like here's one of the connections we were talking about earlier. This connection here has got some heat shrink on it, so it's sealed. And then all we did was we followed the brake line, zip tied it to the brake line, and then we went back through here behind the felt liner and down under the car. Now, as we went under the car, we went entire the way. Like I said, it comes with a 15-foot RGB wire to connect the front to the back of the car, or you can reverse it if you have everything mounted into the front. You can reverse it, take the ones in the rear, and mount everything up front. We'll go ahead and lift it a little bit more, and we'll show you kind of where we routed everything. One other thing I want to kind of touch on are these brackets. These brackets, they're made out of steel and they're coated, so you don't have to worry about rusting or anything like that. They're going to last a very long time because, like I said, those brackets, they're coated and we haven't had any problems on it. The kit's been on the car roughly about 8 months. Same with this thing, this under car front side of it here, and you guys can see some of the little weather pack connections we have here. right there is the heat shrink that seals everything together. So what we did, kind of to let you all know what we did as far as routing the entire lights and everything. They're kind of hard to see, but over here you can see the wire right there. Those wires right there are the lights, and all we did was we fed it through the car, found a couple of holes, and we mounted it under the liner itself. So it's protected by the liner, so it all runs all the way through here. And I want to say it comes out right over here. As you guys can see, it comes out right over there, and we just followed it the rest of the way up. Followed the main, we tried to find some of the factory harness so that way we can mount it to that harness, zip tie it to it, and we come all the way, and it comes all the way across, and everything kind of comes together. And you guys can see possibly a little bit over here. So you see the harness over here, and then we went into the car. There's a grommet over here that allows us to go into the car. It might be a little hard to see since it's dark, but there's a grommet over here that allows us to go into the car. It doesn't get used or anything. So that's where we made the connections. That's where we went into the car to the battery, since the battery's on the back side of the car, right there. I'll go ahead and lower the car and show you guys where we made the connections on the inside. But as you guys can see from under the car, you got the lighting, and they shine very bright at night. You guys can see everything's there. All the different colors: red, green, blue, white, yellow, aqua, purple. I mean, the colors are really kind of endless as far as what color you can dial the control box into. So everything kind of works out really great. If you guys are looking for something that's you just want to show off and have fun at car shows, you can just set the controller, let it go on its own. And the battery draw, a lot of guys are always worried about a battery draw as far as how long can I leave the lights on. LEDs really aren't going to draw a whole lot of power, so you can leave the lights on for hours. We've had this car on for hours at car shows. We have a special way, if we're doing a car show at a convention, we have a special way that I'm going to show you, that we reroute the control box to mount it to an external power, so that way we don't have to worry about it. Or it can just stay connected to the battery and go for hours on its own.
So Jolene has a question. How much for the wheel ring kit?
For the wheel ring kit, the link just went up to the our website this morning. I want to say
$339,
$389, $379,
$379,
$379 with the controller, with the rings, with the lights, the hardware, everything you need. Everything you need. One simple, easy plug-and-play kit. A little bit of modification depending on how big of a ring you need to mount to your car. To kind of give you guys an example. Let me go ahead and lower the car here and get you all eye level. To show you what I mean.
Yeah, they should see. Richard, will these fit? Richard Gates, I like those. You're gonna like them even better.
Yeah.
Will those rings fit a 21-inch that come on the 14 spring edition? Yes.
Yes.
It does fit the V6 as well, Jason.
Yeah.
They are universal, basically.
Yeah,
so you can. He's going to show you right now how big the ring actually is.
It's really a universal bracket. Now, as you guys know, you guys can see, we have the larger piston calipers. For some of you guys that have the smaller versions, for like the V6 cars, or even the ZL ones that have the larger ones, I'm going to show you guys exactly the size difference. So we cut ours down, as you can see, and this is what you get, and we cut ours down, okay, to fit. So that's what I mean by this is kind of a universal way to fit on any car. You can take this kit, you undo the bolts here a little bit, loosen the bracket, tie it in, measure where you need to, cut where you need to, and then you bolt it back together. I want to say every 4 inches they put new holes. So this little section here is what you would basically cut down. And that's essentially what we did on this one. So as you guys can see, it's going to fit, it's going to do everything that you see here. The brackets come with it. We chose 4 brackets per rotor. So pretty much you have 1, 2, 3, 4 connection points. So that way that bracket's going to stay on there, and it's going to stay on there pretty good. It's going to be very sturdy. So you're not going to have any problems with it.
So like Ricardo said to you guys, the kit has everything you need. Everything you're going to need.
Everything.
So there's no buying a kit and I bought a wheel ring kit. What am I going to do about the wires?
I have to extend the wires.
It doesn't come with wires, or your installer's going to have to get RGB wires.
Right.
We made it when we worked with this manufacturer where it is a full kit.
Full kit.
You can basically do this in your driveway for the most part.
Let's do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you guys. I want to show you guys everything that you're going to get. So we're going to take everything out of these bags, so that way you guys can see exactly what's going on. So these are 15-foot extensions. the remote, everything there. I'm going to leave the three wheel rings. I'm going to leave those in here, but I'm going to take all the hardware out so that way you guys can see it. You guys can see exactly what you get. There's the brackets.
So if you've done any lighting before, and you know that, most of the time when you're going to get from a different manufacturer, they're usually just going to send you the product with the light, but they're not going to send you everything else that you need. You might get a controller, but the main thing is you're not going to get wires.
Yeah.
That's where it plays. And if you look at it too, connections, you can see that the wires are wrapped. Okay, they're black, so you can't see them. Yeah,
you can't see the wires, so it makes it very nice, very easy to hide. As you guys, I don't know if you guys can really kind of tell too much. We also have some lights that we mounted up there in the hood vents on this car, and this is the wire that comes out of it right over here. So it makes it very nice, give it a very clean OEM look to it, without exposing too much wire or anything like that.
Yeah, because if you might have seen some people's installs on some of their cars, and you go, "Wow, that looks like a wire mess."
Right. That happens. And that's what happens when you do you go to some of these custom shops and everything like that. Some of them forget to put wire loom. Some of them forget to put some electrical tape and cover everything off, tie everything off, make it look nice and pretty. Well, that's what we kind of emphasized with this kit, is that we wanted it to look nice and pretty and make it easy for you guys to have installed in your garage and on your own. And
hide. I mean, here's the thing. Like I said, that right there is the hard part about putting these kits in.
Right.
Make sure you have the wire, and then we offer, obviously you have long lengths. Yeah. Will it connect to the night owl system?
It should. The night owl system is an RGB wire, and that's what this RGB wire is here for. Yep. So you can just make the connections using this wire, and you shouldn't have a problem as long as you plug everything in correctly. You're not going to have a problem with it operating off the night owl system.
Mark wants to know, hello Mark, how you doing, buddy? Lake Charles, is there a company yet that makes the front headlights change color for the 6th Gen RS? Yes.
Yeah. Well, if you have the DRL, I know it's kind of hard to see on our car, but as long as you have the factory DRL, yes, there is a circuit board. Oracle makes it right now currently. There is another manufacturer that is going to be releasing theirs, I believe, either later this month or early next month. So we should have more information on that hopefully later this month. So kind of stay tuned for that. But yeah, as of right now, you can change that DRL to a different color. Can you tie everything in together for color shift systems that you might already have? Yeah, you can tie it all together. As long as you get all these wires connected to the correct area, you're not going to have a problem tying in to your current Halo system. If you guys have one, some of you guys have the Halo systems on your 510, but you don't have wheel rings, kind of been on the fence about doing wheel rings. This is, like I said, you tie it into what you already have. Not going to have a problem making connections and having everything operate off of one controller.
So let's talk about these wheel rings real quick while he's kind of undoing some of that. Yeah. I mean, they're black, okay? So they're not going to really stick out as much. You're not going to notice it too much. I mean, we get a lot of people that go, wait, man, what is that back there in your wheel? What's our wheel rings? Usually when we have them off, and they blend into the wheel. So there's definitely a nice add-on. Obviously with these wheels, they really pop out, So... And like you said, they're not a hard installation as far as, I mean, you have to remove your rotor. You have to remove your caliper. You hang it off to the side. You pull off your rotor, and then you can access the back of your dust shield there, your brake dust shield, and that's basically where you're going to bolt it down to.
All right, so here's what you're going to get in the entire kit. I didn't pull all the hardware out, but it comes with the screws, it comes with the fuse, it comes with the caps, it comes with the heat shrink, the seals to when you cut these rings down, you obviously have to cut the LED strip. Every 3 LEDs, you guys can see here, every 3 LEDs, there's some cut points. So what these guys did was that they gave you the caps to cap off the end of that light strip again. So that way, if you guys can see here, that cap right there, that little cap, you just throw a little bit of silicone in there, put that cap in place, and that seals off the end of the light strip. So you're not going to have to worry about it exposed to water or anything like that. So they give you those. And there's a bunch of other little stuff in here, zip ties, T-tap connectors, a bunch of stuff that you guys need to have an easy install on this stuff. But other than that, here's the two 15-foot 15-foot RGB wire that you can plug and play connections. Two 10-foot RGB wire plug and play connections. You got your main harness here, or your main adapter here, that's going to mount to the control box. This is going to go to the control box if you guys choose to go with this control box. It's going to go to this control box, and then everything that you see here is just going to plug into these. Now it comes with these little adapters. You guys are probably wondering, how's it going to adapt? You see 2 female ends. Well, it comes, each one of these comes with these little adapters. They're very small, very tiny, but it comes with these little adapters that are just going to essentially plug in place. They sit in there, making this connection that looks similar to this over here. So then all you have to do is plug it in, and you're done. So once you got everything plugged in, put a little bit of heat shrink on it, seal it off, and there you go. It's a very easy install. It's you know, a lot easier than some of the other ones like that we talked about that don't come with all this stuff. They don't come with the extra wire, and they cost just about the same. I want to say the other kits, they're just about the same price. So, and they don't come with any of this. They kind of give you, this is what you get, and you go from there. So it's up to you as far as how to feed the wire to where you need to go. So that's what you get in the kit. Oh, forgot to mention the brackets. These are the brackets you'll get. You got 4 per wheel.
Look how thick they are, guys.
They're really thick.
Look how thick they are.
They're thick.
They're thick. So they're not like they're real thin.
No.
They're not going to break and snap on you. They're really thick.
No, they're thick. It's actually taking a little bit of force to really kind of bend it that much. So it's something to also kind of think about. You know, these are thicker brackets. You get all this hardware, all this stuff for the price you're going to pay another kit, and this one works out for you.
This is excellent price. They did a really good job on it.
And like we said earlier, you guys might be wondering, what about the underbodies? What about the grills? These are the extra extensions that they're working on, and we're working on getting the final information on it, and everything's going to tie in together. Everything's going to be able to plug it in together. Not going to have a problem with it. I already have the wheel rings, but I want to add the rest of it. Not a problem. Everything's going to plug in together. So you're going to have all of that. That's going to be available here pretty soon as well. So hopefully we'll have that information in the next couple of weeks, so you can tie everything in together and really kind of stand out from the crowd at these car shows that you might be going to, these night meets. I know this car will actually be, if you guys are in Houston and you see this car rolling around Thursday night, I will actually be out with the car Thursday night. So I'll have the lights on and everything there. So we'll see what it really looks like. One more thing I want to show you guys is where the connection is made. Some people are asking, probably thinking to yourself, my battery's up front, my battery's in the rear, how do I make the connection to the battery? So I'll go ahead and lower the car, I got the trunk open, and we'll show you where the connection is made back there.
So here's the controller that we were talking about. Obviously, you know, it's a RF controller, so we can turn the lights off. We can turn the lights on. Let's just say we want blue, we'll have blue.
Yeah.
We want green, we got green. We want red, we got red. If we wanted to fade in and out, we can fade in and out on it. If we want to flash it and strobe it, it'll strobe in white.
And then you can also adjust the speed.
Yeah, you can also adjust the speed as well.
If you want to strobe a little bit faster, a little bit slower, you can also adjust it from there. So that's one of the good things about the controller. It's really kind of has everything tied in together. And one other thing, Jason, if you don't mind, I'm going to steal this from you.
Go ahead.
I'm going to walk to the back of the shop just to show you guys how far this thing can operate. So I'm way back here, probably about 20, 30
Here, I'm going to show you guys.
20 or 30 feet back, and I'm just scrolling through the colors.
So you don't have to be right next to the car to use this. You don't have to point it at any certain diode or anything. No. It actually reaches that far away, guys. So it's definitely a nice controller. It definitely got some distance to it. I know when I'm at a car show with this car, I'll stand 3 parking rows over, 3 or 4 park rows over, and I'll just turn the lights on, and people are like, "Damn, what's going on right there?"
So you can be on the other side of the parking lot, and hit that button, and there you go. Maybe you get to the show and it's not quite dark yet. You go inside, you get something to eat, you come back out, just hit the button, stand in front of the front of the garage, and there you go. Now,
I've had this car at multiple shows in convention centers before, and if you got a good battery, I've left them on as long as 5 to 6 hours. Okay, now that's how long I've left them on, and it hasn't killed my battery or anything. That's what's kind of nice about this for the most part.
Yeah.
But
what I'll show you guys right now is really kind of how easy it is to to get everything mounted. It's a little low light back here, but all this is on the 6th gen. All it is, you got the cap back here, and obviously you got the battery back here. You got the negative battery post on this side, you got the positive on this side, which we can't quite see. But one thing I want to show you guys is that this is the control box right here. Now ours is loose only because we've done a couple of shows here in the past to where we've had to get our own control box mounted. So
like if we're inside a convention center and they tell us to disconnect the battery, we can connect it to a converter like we did at the last show we were at, and he'll show you the converter.
I'll show you that, and that's sitting right up under here. So that's why we leave ours loose. You can tie it back. You can double side tape it, you know, to the body to really kind of any flat surface. As long as it's there, you're not going to have a problem. So that's really the control box, and that's the connections. Let's see if I can pull it up here a little bit, kind of show you guys. Let's see, actually, the connections are on the bottom.
Yeah, they're on the bottom.
So,
don't worry about it.
So we'll pull this up here and show you guys. So you guys can see here, and there's plenty of wire. You guys might be asking yourself, there's not a whole lot of wire, 10 feet, 10, 15 feet, doesn't seem like a lot. Well, this is the rest of it.
And that's our converter box right there.
Yeah, this is our converter box. So we wire the RGB wire that I showed you earlier.
Just the power and ground.
Just the power, I'm sorry, yeah, just the power and ground. We wire the power and ground to this box, and then we're able to operate the entire system off of that box at any shows or anything like that. So we really kind of go from there. But that's how we have everything operated. Like I said, there's a grommet over here that we feed all the wires through, and then we're able to make the connections back here at the battery. Now the 5th gens have the battery right here in the center, and so that essentially you can make the same connections that we made on the 6th gen, you can make it on the 5th gen right there in the center. So very simple, very easy kit. I'm going to say the longest part for installation is really kind of just mounting the brackets.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. Longest part.
Other than that, it's just feeding the wire, plugging everything together. I want to say, some of you guys might be asking yourself, how do I know which connectors to plug it into? One thing I didn't mention was that on these connectors, there is a little arrow that tells you exactly where to plug it in. So, if we'll take one of these connectors, I don't know how well you guys will be able to see it. That little arrow
you can't really see it, but
that little arrow is where you're going to make the connection. So that's how you're going to know to make the right connections as far as what wire goes to where. So if you guys can kind of see it a little bit, there's arrow pointing the arrow, and they're on both sides. So they're there. So that's how you know you're going to make the correct connections. Very simple, very easy. Put a little heat shrink over it, seal it together, you're done. And like I said, everything as far as the underhood, the grill, the underbody that you all saw, all that is going to be able to tie it all in and plug it all together.
So what we did here is we also have a strip going back behind here, and if you notice, you really can't see it. It's black. You see that, guys? That's black. So the light strip is actually on the other side, pointing that direction. Okay, so if you look at this here, you'll notice that is the strip. So a lot of manufacturers, what they're going to do is they'll send you just the strip, and you mount it to the car. This is actually on a rail.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's made to mount to the car. You'll see that it has little brackets here holding it down, even though it's already adhesive back and it's connected to it.
Yeah.
It still has these little brackets here to hold it on.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's basically what we used right there across that for our firewall lighting.
Yeah, and all we did, guys, we pulled this up to mount this. We pulled this up and just these holes right here, just put a couple self-tapping screws in there, and that's what's really holding the lights to it. And then we put the factory stuff back in place, and that's really been it. That's all we've done for as far as mounting those. And like we said, with these kits, they're going to supply all that hardware, everything you're going to need for that installation. So it makes it nice and easy, and like we said, virtually plug and play, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you can't really beat it that it's going to be plug and play compared to some other kits that are out there.
Now on the grill, we did 2 strips, one pointing down, one pointing up.
Yeah.
At night, it definitely lights up well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Really accentuates that flow tie now at night.
So if you got any questions, ask us. But that's what we've done to get this thing to light up. Easy kit. Like I said, it's one of those things where you saw it. Everything's there. Wire's there. It's easy to do. The hardest part of you doing wheel rings is basically popping off the rotors and mounting it back there behind it. But realistically, once you do one,
the rest are going to go.
Pretty fast.
Very easy. Like I said, what you can do for the front, if you do one side, you take that piece that you cut off, you take it to the other ring, cut that ring before you're even ready to go, and just tear it apart, mount it, you're done.
Yeah. So what you do, once you mount one, like if you do one front side, you'll get it on there, get it kind of mounted. What you're going to want to do is kind of fit your wheel at the same time. Yeah. Make sure everything clears.
Double check your wheel fitment. Double check your wheel fitment as you're kind of going along before you finally mount it. Put that wheel on there. Put a lug nut in place just to kind of see it. Spin the wheel maybe a little bit just to make sure it's going to clear. Some of you guys that have like we'll take like these MRR wheels for example. These MRR wheels, you want to pay attention because it's got the valve stem sitting right over here. So that's something you want to kind of keep in mind when you're putting something like these custom wheels. When you do something like that, something like the HREs or the flow forwards and stuff like that, they have different ways of mounting that valve stem cap. So really kind of pay attention to it and see where you go. But we had the factory wheels on it when we were doing this. We had the MRRs put on, so we know the factory wheels fit, the MRRs fit, and haven't had any problems. But always you want to double check and make sure everything's going to be perfect before you finalize it.
You're welcome, Mark. Thanks, good know. Shane, love that rear deck spoiler. Yeah, it is pretty sweet. That's the ACS. So that's it for today, guys. That's basically, this is the brand name that we're carrying is ZRO. You're going to find this wheel ring kit on our website. Look on our newest parts. You'll find it there. Yep. I want to say it starts at $379 for the wheel kit, and that is with free shipping too, guys. So
$379 with free shipping, and that's the one with the remote. So if you guys that don't have the remote, I want to say it's I think it's $50 less, I believe, for the kits without the remote. So you're looking at about $329, $330 for the kits without the remote.
Yep. And these are in stock, so ready to ship. So if you want, place your order. Let's get them out to you guys.
Yeah. And like I said, all the underbody kits, for some of you guys that might be asking still, we do have those coming.
So thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We appreciate it. If you got any questions, throw some questions in the comments.
Shoot us a message, Instagram, Facebook, we're all over the place.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Okay.